take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drip. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Reaching my goals, I do not feel ashamed. I'm a dog, I'm a beast, and I cannot be tamed. I don't do it for fame, it's the love for the game. I go in like I'm trained. I'm prepared for the rain, they amazed. I ain't break from the sticks and stones they threw. Anything that you can do, I can do it better than you. No matter what I do, achieve, still got something to prove. I spent the check on the diamond cross, but still ain't paid my dues. Gotta be number one, number two never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna cop my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, got enough juice to end the drought. Yeah, I buy like 23.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. For the first time with Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Johnson on the counter. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 11 coming up. Trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. The ball carrier. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Off the play fake. Gordon under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jamie Collins came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. third and long. Gordon. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, 84 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. As an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Point after, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3-and-out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Cook. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 2.
On 3rd and 2, Gordon being chased out left. He may try and run for this. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Off play action. Gordon lets it fly for Thielen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Gordon, that's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 11 yards there, 1st down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big Playing the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch.
2nd and 10 at their 49-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
4 yards.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. These two teams all tied after 1.
7-7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford, and he whips that one incomplete there.
Very nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's a quick throw out left. It's complete. The ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they bring this one back. It's a full return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Johnson, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. Stafford able to find Hockenson for a Lion 1st down.
13 yards.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Malcolm Brown at 3 bills and some change comes in to drop the hammer.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Stafford throwing quickly. Complete out wide. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. They'll give this one to Galladay. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 19-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run. Cook. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
17-yard line.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Gordon, open man is Thielen. It's complete. 3rd catch of his first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Off the play fake. Gordon. And that'll be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. From the gun, Gordon. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Operating from the gun. Gordon. Oh, my goodness, this is incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Lions will take over. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing again on second down. Stafford, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Following the fumble recovery, Gordon lets it fly for Thielen. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he'll bang that one through.
The score, Vikings 21, Lions 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
They're on 27-yard line.
Offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half. The first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this? He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on second and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Intended for T.J. Hawkinson.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On third down, Gordon quickly to Thielen here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
For a
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. It's big Trey Flowers getting in there that time for the sack.
It's now third down.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. From the gun, Gordon. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop.
3-yard pickup.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Looking to throw on second down. Gordon. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
10 at the 22-yard line.
First down, Gordon. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will make it into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Johnson. And some space here. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that? Right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance. The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Cook on the toss left. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And Charles, the second time today that he has hit pay dirt.
And once you score the first one, there is that natural tendency, and there's also that eagerness to get back there again. Oh, he smells it. This guy smelled the end zone, and twice he's gotten there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin with a quick throw out left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 18 more yards there and another 1st down.
18 on the play. 1st down, Detroit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Midfield to the 46-yard line.
Stafford's pass intercepted. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Cook. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
On the carry.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And new now return. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards, and the Lions will take over.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Stafford on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch signal for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Brenton, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He had to run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And goal was able to put it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanting to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he can't find the receiver, and he's brought down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
15.
Situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate, because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for the Vikings, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire